All right, so talking with my brother Ross about our D&D session tonight, and do you feel your character's like crunchy, like he's min-maxed, or you rolled him randomly though?
Mid-max? What does that mean?
Basically the idea behind min-maxing. Are you familiar with the term munchkin?
I mean, I know the game, and
where basically you're trying to build your character.
Yeah.
You're focusing your character around a specific character build. You know, the Wizard of Oz. That's good. That's
Right.
cute. Especially since he's a rock gnome. No, he's not a munchkin. He's a gnome.
They build roads, right? I mean,
Lollipop Guild.
what do they do? What would their D&D,
Session look like?
Wizard of Oz? Well, that would be interesting.
What class and race is the Tin Man?
The Tin Man.
He's a Tin Man.
Well, he's
And he's a woodsman. That's his class. Done.
He's a woodsman.
All right. So, like my character, I actually feel I didn't use the Colville method. I actually picked where I wanted my stats to go. Now, I did get wisdom as my highest stat, but I did swap my strength and dexterity because I wanted to be more dex based. With you just rolled them straight in order.
Straight in order,
At Gen Con.
Strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, charisma. I just rolled all the dice just to see what they would get. And because I really just wanted to have a random character and just kind of live with it. Bad stats and all,
Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, I've power build before, I don't think,
and even bad stats aren't necessarily that bad.
Right. Well, they aren't. They're not. I mean, you can, I guess, just being told that, well, you could get a magic item that would, compensate for that.
Campaign ending encounters have been determined by me rolling against a stat. I had no proficiency in any skill and a negative modifier in like charisma. Right. And it's the climax of the campaign, and it's, Grant feels like talking again. And it's sort of like, all right,
talk to the king. Talk to the king with your 3 charisma,
Basically. And it happens more often than not. Do you feel, I don't really think there was any role-playing elements tonight, really so much. I mean, we had a little bit early on, but not much.
Honestly, I didn't get to... it was just one-liners, I didn't... that's what I enjoy about D&D, just kind of more the encounters and like the conversations, just kind of role-playing a little bit. I know it's cheesy, it's getting into characters.
Just a little bit here and there.
Yeah, just a little bit. And I like the dice rolling. I like doing the encounters, it'd be helpful to just kind of roll dice into the
microphone. Do you prefer combat encounters or more like puzzle encounters? What do you think?
Well, I like a mix of it. I mean, this one was just like, what was it, like 3 straight
There's a lot of baddies, and the thing is, we had a lot of healing. Even though we're first level characters, we had a druid, a cleric, and a paladin. Yeah. I would say everyone had a healing word. We might have had some good berries. We had some cure wounds. We had the lay on
healing
hands.
Word.
Yeah,
I don't even think those were like the spells I necessarily picked at Gen Con, but...
it's hard to tell.
I mean, you know what?
You prepare them at the start of the day.
It doesn't really matter. I guess it doesn't really matter.
Especially since you restarted at level 1.
Yeah.
It's not Gen Con anymore.
Yeah.
And we kind of started to try to do some stuff when we decided 3 of our characters were going to speak in Elvish and only Elvish, just in case there was baddies around.
Did we, though? We didn't. It was a throwaway element of the... It didn't really...
but the whole idea there is, I guess we didn't do a whole lot of talking.
Right.
You missed it earlier. Earlier there were people and we tried to speak in different languages to them because they weren't really responsive to us.
Yeah.
I thought, maybe they won't speak.
What was it? The lady that we saved? I don't even remember.
Melina?
Was she from the last encounter at the beginning?
No, she wasn't the maid.
She was one of the slaves that we...
A druid at the beginning. I want to say she might have been sister of the druid. Huh. It's hard to tell. I didn't get a lot out of the... Okay, go ahead.
What I was told was somebody rolled a 19 on persuasion, or the DM rolled a 19 in persuasion.
Oh, and we were all persuaded.
And then suddenly we had to leave. And it's like, so... we don't have...
We were all plot hammered. It was you all have to go forward. It didn't make sense that we would keep pressing forward when our barbarian had 1 hit point left. And we had no spell slots left. But we had to promise we would return. We're not returning. And that's why I said we're just going to build a raft and sail back to town. We might return. I don't know. There's a lot of
look,
frog people.
and I don't know how many people. I don't play a whole lot of D&D, but I mean, when you don't have any weapons or abilities, like in a game, if you're low,
You don't need weapons.
You
You
go
have
to a
shillelagh.
save point. Yeah. Well, I guess I don't need
But
it.
that's the thing about D&D. You don't save point. Like, you just play the game. Because we could start going back and there could be a dragon
It's a
that eats
tent,
us.
you know. You go,
No,
you go
not
to
even...
sleep.
Well, we get long rest. We reconstitute. That's the word I would use. We'd reconstitute.
Yeah, go to sleep. You
Yeah,
know,
go to sleep, wake up.
That's the only way. That's the only way in D&D.
Now we hit level 2. That's a good...
Drink a potion. Go to sleep.
306.25, round down to 306 experience points. So we hit level 2 after a lot of combat. It was 5 encounters. So,
I mean,
or 4 combat encounters, 1 social encounter.
What do you think is like? I don't know. I mean, like I've always just kind of jumped into D&D here and there. I've never stuck with a campaign because either something in my life happens where I get a job and then I leave, or
So
it's
you're
just
saying
no time.
instead of playing Dungeons and Dragons, you work a job.
I work a job, you know. But well. But I'm
you don't have time for
but I don't
Fantasyland.
know. But would you know? But it's like I like role playing. I like the experience.
It's in our blood.
Yeah, it's in our blood. We've
We've been playing role-playing games our whole lives.
for a long time.
I've been playing since I was 9 years old. I was a dungeon master at age 10, or rather a game master for Star Wars.
I've never really dungeon mastered or game mastered, like maybe once or twice.
Have you thought about trying it sometime?
It'd be fun, you know. I mean,
I want to run a game tomorrow.
a game tomorrow.
I get 3
It'd
players.
be
We all
bad.
play.
I don't think it would be. I don't think it would be very good.
But you would grow from the experience.
I would. I'd like to prepare a little bit, but
I
maybe
give you a
that would be the
one-page
goal.
adventure from
Maybe
the book
that would be the
Prepared
goal.
by Kobold Press. I give you 1-page adventure. That's all you need.
I can make my own adventure. See, I'm just a regular guy playing regular D&D. I don't know all the methods or all the modifiers
are no
or
methods.
rules or
You
whatever.
don't need to know the rules. You just make them up.
I'm just gonna tell it. I'm gonna tell it like it is. You know?
You're gonna sit us down and tell us what
I'm
happens.
gonna tell you what happened. You know. No, I mean, I don't know how much experience a kobold would give you. I wouldn't know.
I want to say it's 25 experience points.
25.
I don't know.
I was thinking 25. I don't know. I was just thinking
Curious.
that. I don't know.
25 divided by 6, so you guys all get like 4 experience points.
Right. See, but that's where like D&D gets weird for me. You know, where it's like you got to do all this math. You know, where you could just say you play a fun adventure, you level up. You know, I don't know. Maybe that's like sacrilegious or something to D&D. But who's gonna know? Was Gary Gygax gonna, come down from, and tell you that you're not?
A kobold is worth 25 experience points. So I pulled it up in the Dungeon Master Guide. So yeah, I got it right. It has a challenge rating of 1/8, so you get 25 experience points.
I don't even know what that means.
It kind of doesn't matter. Like challenge rating is this.
It's just a arbitrary reference of like
how much experience you get for killing the monster.
Right.
And some monsters, they'll be worth the same experience, but some are much harder than others.
Right.
And you can always scale down. Like you can take a monster and lower its hit points. Some people feel that's cheating. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just
you could just make
run a fun game. Like, and I'd actually say experience points are kind of becoming a thing of the past. Only in the what I describe as like the meta of the game, because now it seems a lot more like just do milestones. Just give people levels, which I like and dislike. Yeah. I dislike it because when you actually earn experience, you've earned it, as opposed to just, I survived and the Dungeon Master rewarded me for showing up for his game he prepped.
Right.
You get a level.
No,
you get a level.
Okay, let's break it down, because, I casted a few spells. I got hit a couple times, or I got swallowed alive, and I busted out, almost busted out, but killed some monsters inside. A frog, but I think I kind of earned experience. I don't know if it was worth 306 experience or whatever the heck.
Well, that also counts some experience from our encounters before you showed up.
Yeah.
Not a lot though. I mean,
that.
we killed like 2-3 guys.
Yeah, but I feel like I don't know, and I guess it's. You gotta.
I like the idea.
Come up with your own parameters.
No, I like the idea of the end of your first adventure. You go up a level, and then maybe at the end of your second adventure. So you hit level 3 and you can choose some of the cool features of a class. But outside of that, then maybe every other adventure. Yeah. You kind of have to pace it out, and it also depends on the Dungeon Master's play style, because some Dungeon Masters leave it completely sandbox, where if the players are indecisive, nothing happens.
Right.
I was totally ready for our guys to go back to town. It felt like we had saved some guys, and it's like, well, we go back to town.
We save them, we go back.
It sounded like the Dungeon Master really wanted to, no, you go forward. No, you have to go forward. It's like,
right.
Unless the forest is on fire behind us, we're going back.
Yeah.
I mean, we might get eaten by owlbears, but we're pretty beat up.
Yeah. I guess I don't mind if an adventure's kind of railroading forward, if it has,
That's why I run Horde of the Dragon Queen.
Seamless, breaking points, or at least like resting points where it's like, yeah, you find the next camp, or you find the next town, or
well, that's kind of like an MMO thing,
but
that would make sense. At least have a town or a place where we could, like, they were frog people. Is there like a frog people village we can rest at? Right. It's just we weren't going to last very long.
Right.
Maybe if we were given a spot where we could make camp, but that's not what happened. What happened is we alerted like a frog folk army, and they're going to come and kill us. It felt like the Dungeon Master wanted to get revenge on us. Did you feel like the Dungeon Master wanted to get revenge on us?
Well, he wanted to kill somebody. He was mad.
He wanted to kill a character.
He wanted to kill
He was disappointed at our ability to survive.
Yeah, you know what? I know low level RPG where you can survive just about anything. It's hard to push them over the edge, because I mean the DM doesn't. It's kind of cruel to just kill a level 1 character, right?
But I think that's necessary.
Yeah,
it level sets expectations for the game.
Yeah.
I don't think you should sneak around that. I think if someone dies or they're knocked unconscious, it's a good part of the story. It can be dramatic. Right. Like if our half-orc barbarian died.
I've never died. I don't know. I've never died.
It's harder to die. It's easier to get knocked unconscious.
Right. Yeah, that's easy. My character especially is a rock gnome. He only has 6 hit points. So, like, he also he has a 7 in his constitution. So, like, he has a -2. So, like, he's gonna get knocked out just about every hit. He would have to get very lucky, or fight, a mouse or something, or a mouse's baby or something like
baby mice.
Just
a farm baby mice.
Probably would get overrun. Clorin Schmiel Liverbelcher. That's his name. Anyway, I didn't really get to play up that character, which I don't know. I don't really know exactly. I just thought that's kind of just a play on like weird names.
If you could change anything about the character, what would you change, or would you make a different character?
Oh, I like. I guess. I'd like to be in an adventure where I get to role play with.
How would you
Yeah. Rather than just kind of. I mean, I don't mind encounters, but it's like this person is clearly not a fighter that could last like all day, every day.
Would you say you had a?
He's not swole.
Well, when he hits, he's not swole. Well, when he hits level 2, he's going to be able to turn into all these animals and stuff. Right. Like he can turn into like a brown bear if he goes like Moon Druid. So as a brown bear, he'll get like 2 attacks and he'll do all kinds of damage, and just like he'll be murdering people. He'll be a lot more powerful.
See, I don't know. I don't know high level D&D though. I know low level.
Correction.
D.
You don't know second level D&D.
Second level D&D.
You get to second level.
I don't know. That's high class stuff. So I'm just a regular guy who does regular D&D things.
You know what we might do is
I may have bought something from an inn or a store.
We should record you and me raising our characters from level 1 to level 2 and sort of see how it goes and sort of capture the process.
Right.
I think that would be a good idea, and that could be our next recording.